The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, do we go into the breach, dear friends?
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And we're off 3 points on the S&P cash. We were off about 7 at the low. Volume, again, exceedingly low, even lower than yesterday. Haven't even cracked 1.5 billion shares on the NYSE. So, you have to look at this market. I guess if you're bull, you can say, well, we pulled back on lighter volume. I don't know if 5 points if that's considered a pullback these days. I don't think so. To me, this is sitting at highs and having no volume and light volume. And could we go higher? We could, but man, normally when you're at new highs and you don't have volume, you have a big gap down one day, and that is the high. Last week, or the week before, I said we were looking for something in the range of down 50 points. That, of course, was a buying opportunity. I didn't think so at the time. It certainly looked like a market was just going to have a giant hiccup lower. Market's kind of doing that right now, and if the volume holds, the volume patterns hold, we're going to have the lightest dollar amount trading hands this year, and probably going back 2 or 3 years, even on days that we're leading into other things like FOMC meetings and long weekends. Short of a half day, I think this is going to be one of the quietest trading days in many years. So we'll keep an eye on that. When we talk about the amount of dollars coming in and out of the market, a lot of times it's a big deal if we're going to have $10-15 billion come in for fund buying at for IRAs or something like that. We've seen the last 3 days $50 billion at a whack, less in trading each day. So it is something not of let's put it at, if it was a earthquake and we wanted to put it on the Richter scale, the amount of decrease since last week in the dollars, I'm going to say it would be about an 8.5 on the Richter scale. This is a massive move lower in actual trade volumes. Maybe a good thing to start looking at the actual NASDAQ and other bodies, because if this holds up, I mean, the incredibly light volume and no dollars being, or relatively few dollars being exchanged, this may be one of the worst signals for the exchanges themselves. We'll see in the next few days how these things react. Most of the time you get a few days like this and then you get a huge move in the market. But we'll see. 24.33 on the S&P cash, off 3 points. But again, just no volume. And since we had our push back last Thursday, or actually Wednesday, this has just been a day where it's not a little lighter each day. It's massively lighter each day. And today it looks like yet again we're going to have an order of magnitude lower volume and dollars once again. So just keep an eye out here. Normally you don't want to be short markets with light volume except when you're at all-time highs. So we'll take a look at it. Anyway, off 3 points in the S&P cash. Literally, this is one of the weakest trading days in modern trading history. So speaking of a little history, let's get started.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history, and on this day in 1944, it's called D-Day. The Allied powers cross the English Channel, land on the beaches of Normandy, France, beginning with the liberation of the Western Europe from Nazis. Control under World War II. Within 3 months, the northern part of France would be freed. The invasion force would be preparing to enter Germany, where they would meet up with the Soviet forces moving in from the east. And, of course, less than a year later, that did happen. Of course, to me, the most interesting part of all of World War II was how preventable it was. Unfortunately, they didn't always have Winston Churchill. Much like today, they have a lot of people trying to avoid any kind of controversy, lest they be called exactly the same things that Winston Churchill was called. He was called everything that anybody that doesn't go along with the extreme left-wing view in England today is called. But there were about 40 different times you could have done something to stop Hitler. They never did. And it's kind of amazing how Western democracies, when they see evil, do everything they can to excuse it away. And I'll always think that the time that they had the opportunity to do something was in 1938, when they were all in on appeasement and all out on actually doing anything.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And back, and we just had a couple lightning hits here locally. I've got UPSs on everything. Unfortunately, the cable companies, even if the poles get hit, they're going to recycle. It takes about 15, 20 seconds to do that. Of course, that drops all our connections. But we shall persevere and move on. As always, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can put messages in the den. What else do we have? One of the den members did say that Macy's came out with a little bit of news saying that their earnings would be a little lower. It's down on 20 million shares so far today. Not a big day out here, but certainly down. And I don't know if there's anything that's going to save these retailers. They are headed to purgatory at best and hell at worst. To see if there's anything else out here. I wanted to look at some of these other ones. 2433, again, on the S&P cash, less than 1.6 billion shares. So there is no volume out here. Let's take a look at some of the ones I've been looking at to see how things are going. What do we have? American Airlines, wanted to see how this was going, especially after the terrorism this week. And you already had Friday a test of the December 9th high that had 37 million shares with 22 million shares. And, well, that was yesterday. Today, just 7.7 million shares. So, again, we were light yesterday. I think we're going to be ultra light today. AHP, Ashford Hospitality Prime. Want to see how some of these were doing. This one had a high volume low back on March 10th at $9.67, 4.2 million shares. Down through this one today on very light volume. This one kind of looking interesting. I don't know much about Hospitality Prime, but this does look like a fairly decent chart with the energy on the way back down from the April 28th high. Significantly less than the energy on the way up, and the volume at that previous low fairly light. We talked about Caterpillar and its light volume test. We got yet another one today, the 105.98 test, February 28th, 105.98, 46 million shares. Yesterday we got into it 15.2 million shares. Right now, we're going to be under 7 million shares, and we did have a new all-time high. Well, let me put it this week, 52-week high in this. But again, almost no volume in any of these pushes higher and generally selling off. Charter Communications, this one has tried to sneak out. It's turtling a little bit, got to 355 today. On no juice, 2 million shares. Yesterday, we had 7 million shares. So we have gone higher. We've done so on extreme lighter volume. This is all against the framework of looking at the January 27th high, 341.50 at 19 million shares. Got into it with 16 million shares, got rejected on April 28th, came back up here yesterday on 7 million shares, which is pathetic. Again, pulling back today, but did go higher to 355 on absolutely no volume. So it is light and variable out here. What else do we have? Okay, Camden Property Trust. This one's banging against this $85 level that's been resistance before. You're looking for about 4 million shares, got about 773,000 so far. So this one looks like it's going to come in at about 1/3 the volume of the January 6th high. Dick's Sports, or Deltec, excuse me, DK. I want to look at DKS after this one. This one's been banging against these highs. Volume's been a little better on this one. Today, nothing out here. 2 million shares against the 4 million shares just a couple of days ago. Let's take a quick look at Dick's Sports. I know that thing had been hammered in retail. I wanted to see if there's anything stopping any of these out here. Okay, $37.34 goes back to the May 20th low. 27.5 million shares. Not bad out here. You're coming in, if you're looking at light volume and highs and lows, this one's kind of interesting. You got just about 4 million shares going into 27 million shares. I'm wondering if eventually some of these don't find at least some value somewhere. Don't see a lot. Harris Corporation, which is the company that bought my company many moons ago. What was that, 2002, 2003? Just a little pullback on no volume. This thing's still in an uptrend channel. I don't see much out here. Let's see, what else do we have out here? Anything else? Win. We were looking at this one. Now, this one's got some dark cloud cover with no juice on it. If we close a little lower on this one's going to be very interesting to see how it trades tomorrow. WYN on this one, but literally down with 1.5 million shares compared to almost 4.8 million shares of yesterday. The XLE, as we talked about, this one coming back down, at least in this area of the July 1st low of 2016, 62.88 with 77.5 million shares. You got close to that on June 2nd with 65 million shares. Today you're up on 21.5 million shares. Man, I wouldn't touch this until you got that July 1st, 2016 low in here and tested on significantly lighter volume that we don't have so far. The XLF, absolutely nothing in this thing. Continued sideways action. Xilinx, this one, of course, in the SMHs, and man, did they want to buy these things hand over fist this morning. They couldn't wait to buy these things at the top. Interestingly enough, 4.8 million shares compared to yesterday's 17.6 million shares. So when we look at the volumes out here, they are literally pathetic. To XLV, we'll take a look at it in a second. Also trying to make a little higher high. This is the healthcare sector. You're really going against this July 24th, $75.46, 36 million share high, July 24th of 2015. So we're coming in on 2 years on this. So you wanted that 36 million shares yesterday. We had 24.4 million shares today. 8.6 million shares, just a little pull off of the high, but not enough volume yesterday and no volume today. Again, the story of the markets with less than 1.65 billion shares at the bottom of the 2 o'clock hour. It is nothing, nothing, nothing. We'll be back in a minute.
The The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we left, we were looking at the healthcare sector. And I don't know what you say when the volume just all turns off at once. It's been a long time. It's not generally you don't get that. Normally you get maybe a little light volume and then heavy volume on the way down, or light volume on a pullback and then you get the juice back up. We've had severely declining volume now for 4 days. And I mean, not just a little, but this is maybe the most severe down volume move I can remember in a long time. I'm going to have to go back and see through all the data back in years whether or not I've seen any kind of volume, not just a single spike, but, you know, we had a couple of days, volume ramped up. And since then, it's been falling like a rock without any kind of volume, without a lot of high-frequency trading, just literally darn near nothing. Let's take a look at WIN, WYNN, the other WIN. And want to see how this one was doing, especially with the moves in currency. So you got basically up to yesterday's high. It's kind of come down a little bit, 2.7 million shares compared to 9.7 million shares yesterday. So you might call this a pullback. It looks to me like a sideways day here. It's very tough for me to see why or how any of this stuff is moving. Apple. We called it kind of during the day yesterday, and that is no real significant change in what they're doing. They did announce one new product, which was a Alexa-like product that Amazon already has. Unclear why you wanted to buy this thing at $350, although it may sound a little bit better than Alexa for the speaker quality, but at more than twice the amount of money. Kind of really tough to figure out why you wanted to get into that. There wasn't a lot of movement yesterday during the day. They sent everybody and their shill brother-in-law out to pump up Apple today. It's up $1.19. Not much going on. But again, the volume kind of says it all. Trading around 15 million shares when we had 173 million shares on the 12th. So, man, it's just a total lack of anybody willing to sell or buy on either side. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Well, we'll see off 2 points on the S&P cash right now. Let's see what else we have going on here. Let's take a look at the other FANG stocks in FLX. Up a little higher today. Yesterday he had 18.3 million shares. Today to 6.6 million shares is a tick higher. Let's see, Amazon, Netflix, MSFT. Microsoft a little higher today. Its volume's a little bit better than some of the rest. 52 million shares compared to 103 million shares yesterday. So again, higher, but man, this is going to be lucky to get 65 million shares today compared to the 103 million shares yesterday. So some very, very stark warnings out here, at least on volume. Let's see what else is going on. Let's take a quick look at Facebook. Facebook higher. Let's look at the volume yesterday, 63 million shares, 20.2 million shares today, and a higher high. This one actually is probably one of the most bearish in that it did kind of pop up today and had no takers. Let's see, what else do we have? Of course, that can change by the end of the day. I don't think the volume's going to. I mean, we only have an hour and a half left. Amazon, a little higher out here. Yesterday you had 13.4 million shares. Today, just 4.7 million shares today. So if you're looking for no volume pushes higher or no volume push lowers, whichever way the stock's going, it seems like it is a dearth of nothingness out here. Let's see if there's anything else going on. We looked at Caterpillar, wanted to look and see if there's any kind of weakness in some of these other ones like IBM, who have just been going sideways for a handful of days. No volume in this either, but no real movement either from its move down to May 12th. Let's see what else we have going on out here. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to take a quick stab. I just got to get something running here so I can run it during the next break so we can come back and look at some other ones. We just wanted to look at a couple of others out here. What was there out here? Weight Watchers, I think, is the one I wanted to look at, WTW. Okay, now this is back up to the spike when Oprah took over on November 20th in 2015, 2805. 20 million shares. We're back up to it today. Yesterday, you had 4.3 million shares. The day before, 5.6 million shares. Today, 1.4 million shares. And it looks like a little hanging man out here. Again, you're about, 50 cents shy of that high. But, man, talk about no volume pushing highs out here. I dislike also this move from September 16th up here. Didn't have near the kind of energy that you had on the first run. But, man, there's just nobody interested about buying or selling anything up here. No real movement, but no real volume either. See a few other ones out here I wanted to take a look at. Okay, that's done. I wanted to look at a couple other ones out here. Let's take a look at the 52-week high list. I'll have that here in just a second. Come on. There we go. Okay. Look at that. 52-week highs. Let's go through this real quick, of course. Anthem, ATHM, or Auto Home, excuse me. 52-week high. Yesterday had 11.3 million shares. Today, 4.1 million shares. You're breaking through the 9.5 million share high of May 19th. We've got a little gap up here at about $47. Bluebird Bio is finally out of this big run. It goes back to November 27, 2015 at 95.28. You had 3.1 million shares back then. You got 5 million shares, but unable to hold that high. Let's take a quick look at the IBB. Okay. A pop higher today in the IBB. Volume today just 1.2 million shares compared to the 4.9 million shares yesterday. 3.6, 4.5. I mean, most of these days you got 2 or 3 times the volume that you do have in there today. There is some kind of giant signal coming in this market. We're going to look at the rest of these 52-week highs, or close to 52-week highs, and see if there's anything else we can find. I found maybe 1 or 2 stocks that has any kind of volume breaking a high today. About the same on the lows, though. Let's see. Be back in a minute.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry, powered by the acclaimed with TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Well, folks, we've got volume that makes you think that 2 hours before an FOMC meeting that no one has any idea of, that's a big volume day. 1.7 billion shares on the NYSE. Consolidated tape, it is just nothing. And slowly creeping up on the S&P. We're just half a point on it now. Volume not really picking up. As I said, just a little over 1.7 million shares. So no volume down, no volume up so far anyway. But we'll keep an eye on it out here. And any real movement other than that, it is quiet. We're going to just go through these 52-week highs or near 52-week highs and see if there's anything out here. Costco, what do we have yesterday for volume? 8.8 million shares today, 2.8 million shares. CRM Salesforce, another high out here. What do we have 4 days ago? 42 million shares. 3 days ago, 28 million shares. Yesterday, 20.5 million shares. Today, 8 million shares so far. So if you're talking about Roman candles out here for light volume and tops, you are getting it today. CTRP, which is C-Trip International, this one's testing a previous high on 10%. I say again, 10%. CTRP, 56 million share high back on November 20th, 2015. And what do we got today? 5.6 million shares. So 1/10 the volume, folks. The energy on the way up has been fairly, I can't say that you'd really say a whole lot on it. Of course, I'm actually looking at 2-year weekly. We'll look at it a little bit differently here, up here at these highs. But man, it is, what do we have? 2.5 million shares here on the day. So what are you going to say against that 24 million share November 19th, 2015 high? Watch out. Electronic Arts, another day higher. This is kind of a lot of little dojis out here. Volume's actually not too bad on this one compared to the rest. You did tick just a few cents higher on it today. FDC, let's take a quick look at that one. First Data Corporation going through its November 11th high of 2015, $17.99. This one actually had the volume, about 1 million shares more. Today, though, as it broke through, 3.5 million shares yesterday, 5.2 the day before, 5 million shares. And then as it broke through that high, 12.2 million shares. So that one's actually looking a little bit better. Federal Express, FDX. Take a look at this one a little closer out here. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. That. Okay. Okay. Getting through a few emails here to FDX. Okay. So half the volume on Federal Express compared to this December 13th high in 2016. 201.17 with 2.2 million shares. Got into it with 3 million shares, spiked it, kind of pulled back, closed in below it today, 1.3, and let's call it 1.4 million shares, trying to spike that high yet again. What else do we have? Look, Coke Coca-Cola Company making another new high. Yesterday we had 10 million shares. So far today, 6.2 million shares. That one looks a little healthier compared to a lot of these things that are out here on no volume. Lumentium Holdings, LITE. Don't know much about this one, but a sign of strength in a rather light volume market. LITE, take a look at that one today. 3.4 million shares compared to under a little over a million, a little under a million in the last 4 or 5 days as this went sideways. LRCX, Lam Research. This one's got 3 gaps below it. I'm not going to call that one a 3-gap play because that last one's a little tiny. But we went higher today with 1.5 million shares so far compared to 1.8 million shares. So that one's a little better looking. LVLT, level 3. This one is breaking its previous high of May 2nd that had 2.36 million shares, doing so 4 million shares just a few days ago on the 1st. So you broke it with volume, but you didn't really go any farther above it. Today, up on 2 million shares. So that one's actually looking fairly good, the internet stock. What else do we have? Maxim Integrated Products, MXIM. This, of course, is in the semi space, and everybody's just cuckoo for Cocoa Pops when it comes to semis. They got to own them. Got to own them at the highs. Yesterday, 1.6 million shares. Today, 1.4 million shares. So you can see that there is a little love for that one. NiSource, NI is the symbol on this one, breaking its previous high of July 5th, that 2016, that had 3.7 million shares with 1.6 million shares today. Let's take a little look. Yesterday, you had 3.8 million shares going sideways. Today, just 1.6 million shares. Now, let's see, chart appearance, program options, max volume. Let's take a look at that. Okay, now, NOW service now up a little higher and another 52-week high. Yesterday, you had 1.6 million shares. Today, 863,000 shares. So, yeah, 2.6, 1.5, so fairly light volume in that. NVIDIA making yet another 52-week high today. Again, we'll see whether or not there's any kind of juice in this. Yesterday, you did have some, 20.4 million shares. Today, 14 million shares. Of course, kind of the leader of all those. Another one in that sector, OLED. This one higher today on 881,000 shares so far compared to 1.4 million shares yesterday. Dave and Buster's Play. This one's moving up a little bit. Take a look at this one. And actually a little bit of juice in this one. Up today on a sign of strength with 1.5 million shares compared to just 1 million shares yesterday. So PLAY on the bonus. Okay. PM. What's this? Philip Morris. This one continues higher. Yesterday, you had 2.6 million shares on it, 1.9 million shares. So that one's probably a little better off. We look at the Qs. Today, 13.3 million shares compared to 15 million shares yesterday when it went sideways. Of course, the second, you had 37.2 million shares, so a little higher. And what are we, third? A little less than a third. A little more than a third. Right in there, man. No juice in just about anything we're looking at today. Handful of stocks. We'll look at a few more out here. Tesla, UNH, XPO. So, got a few more to look at here in this last segment, but kind of tough to see much movement and no volume. We'll be back.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Had a question in the email asking me about dollar volumes. I do have this in each edition of the daily newsletter, just so we can take a look at it. But on the 31st, which was the last day of fund buying, you had 7 billion. You had 338 billion, $338.5 billion change hands. Of course, we get to Friday, and that was 200. Well, actually, that was Wednesday. So this is Thursday. 285 billion, 278 billion. Yesterday, 225 billion. So if we look at how much off, we're over 100 billion. Or yesterday had just 2/3 of the dollar amount, just going back a handful of days. That's what I'm talking about with overall markets. That includes the NYSE, the Amex, the NASDAQ, all the ETFs, all the energy out here. We basically are down over a third of just a handful of days ago. And my guess is if these volumes hold as they do here today, we will probably be lucky to get $200 billion worth of business across the exchanges today. That's what I was kind of saying. You kind of have to watch very closely the exchanges themselves and see whether or not any of those are starting to give some kind of signal, because this is rather significant fall off in just the last few days. Even if you just look at the kind of volume where we went from 4.5 billion shares on the 31st in the NYSE down to 2.9 billion shares yesterday, I think that can probably be in the 2.5 or 2.4 billion shares today. So we've continued to kind of hang around at these new highs, and volume has absolutely dropped out. Now, can we go a little higher? Maybe. I don't see a lot out here that says that a lot of people were heavily shorting. A lot of times these markets finally crack when the last person that has been shorting finally gives up. I just don't see that. I don't see that today. Volume shorting only mildly, minutely picked up yesterday. So there's just not a lot out here to hang your hat on. I don't understand the idea that there's something new coming out that's going to drive the very last couple of days of the month for any kind of stock that could actually move anything. So we don't have earnings. We've got the Fed next Wednesday. The meeting. Maybe the next meeting they may bring up some reason why things
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.